So this is the end result of a VBA project I put together in Excel. This one is for Bear Island, although it can be adapted to any project. And what I was trying to do here was incorporate the data from time cards, equipment reports, and even invoices, and have them interact with the original budget. I think Vista probably does this better, but I just thought this might be a cool and interesting programming VBA project. And I'll show you how it works by starting a new project here. So the first thing we have to do is upload the budget from a startup file. So from the title page, we just click Upload Budget. And basically what the program does, it just grabs the original budget sheet and copies it over. Another program makes some formatting changes and mirrors that budget onto this one just to make it easier to see. I also added some features like the production column and the commentary column. The commentary column is just there to basically explain why a task code may have gone over or under, or any other various challenges or unforeseen conditions that may just add complexity to that production rate. I also created a hotkey feature for highlighting rows and columns. So if I just press Ctrl-Shift-T, you can see the rows and columns are lit up, and then Ctrl-Shift-T toggles it off, and it just makes it easier to see and visualize. So from the title page, I can upload time cards and equipment reports and even invoices. And I'll show you that right now. I can upload one or multiple time cards. So I'll just click on a couple of these and add them. So after editing for time, I think the operation took close to 20 seconds. You can see the results here. So basically the program is deducting hours and costs from the budget, and they'll actually turn red if they go over the budgeted hours or over budgeted costs. Now if it gets close to the budgeted cost, I think I set that threshold at 80%, it will turn yellow, and I can essentially mark a task code complete by setting the projected cost equal to the current cost and pressing Ctrl-Shift-R. If I go down to the bottom here, I can see the projected total, the current totals, and this value here is the projected cost delta. Basically, if all else equal, we stuck to the budget for the rest of the project, that would be this number. And this also turns red if over budget or green if under. I also have a percent complete and a planned value based on the crew hours complete here. I meant to incorporate something with the CPI, cost performance index, but never got around to it. So turn into time cards, I'll open up a blank template here and again upload a startup, and this just grabs all the task codes. So if I just hit get task codes and choose a startup, this one is from Berkeley, you'll see that it populates with all the task codes. The way I envision this going is next you would just go to the temp or template sheet and put in the job information and the date on Monday, and this will just populate the dates for the rest of the week. This template sheet will basically copy all the information on here to each day of the week. So then if we just start picking task codes of what may or may not happen that week, as you can see there's a macro running in the background that will basically expand the column so that you can actually see the task code. And if you just start typing, the task code should auto-populate, and we'll just choose a couple here. Next, we'll pick the workers that will potentially work for this project for this week. And all this can be changed later on in the individual day of the week sheets. But this is just to get it started. And as you can see, you can just start typing someone's name and it should autofill. And then it will also autofill their rate. Then I just hit populate, and you can see that every sheet should have all that same information on it. So if I go to a time card that's already filled out, then I'll add 100 hours of double time here and go over to the sum or summation tab and just click sum values. And you can see that it grabbed those 100 hours and gave us the additional cost. And so the algorithm can distinguish between DT, OT, and regular time, and also by rate, operator, foreman, pile driver, and separates it by task code. So the budget file we were just on basically grabs all the information on this sheet, the sum sheet, and imports it to the budget. The equipment reports are pretty similar, so I'll go to that next. And again, we can import all the phase codes from a startup. And then if we go back to the equipment sheet, we can start filling in those phase codes. And then we can type in the equipment being used. The equipment rates are being pulled from a hidden tab. So if I go to unhide that tab, you can see it's just the equipment rate sheet that we have on our server. And a lot of these workbooks have some hidden sheets on them that contain sort of various information that the program uses. Okay, so finally invoices. Let me open up a PDF invoice real quick here. So in my tool chest over here, I have an approval stamp that is already created and insertable. I changed the task code, the cost type, and I even have some extra lines here for dollar amount or cost and the supplier. Once I fill in those fields, I can ungroup the block and actually export these markups. And that's done through this button here. And I can go CSV summary and OK. And this will export this Excel file, which we can upload to the budget. So if I go back to the budget and I upload a new startup, and then I go to the title page and upload the invoice file. As you can see, the current totals are updated and the values in these columns are updated as well. And if we spend more money than what was originally budgeted, these numbers will turn red. And they will also leave a comment in the cell with the date coded, the supplier, and the dollar amount. And these comments will actually stack one upon the other. So that is the project. I guess I can show one more thing, and that's the VBA programming environment. So you just go to Developer at the top here, and then Visual Basic. And this is the programming environment. It has different modules with different subroutines, and they run different macros.